Na'Vi against Cloud9. If they win this one, they get a chance of getting through to those playoffs. It comes a little bit easier than the others. Yesterday's group was a little bit tougher, let's put it that way so far at least, but this has certainly been the group of death. Yeah. SK out this early on, having such a rough time. Unbelievable. These two have stayed alive so far.
Both finalists from last year out. Fnatic out in the group stage, SK now out as well. So a little bit crazy. Seems like these teams are really going off the tap, as Chad so eloquently put. Yeah, might have made up on the spot.
All right, let's see what we have in order, though, because Cloud9 starting on the T side. I want to see what they define. No utility across the board at all for Na'Vi, so the complete kind of armor buy up there, so having none of it. So nothing's got the smoke, and he's over by A, and then we've got Skadoodle as well, over by B with the smoke. So I'm wondering where this ends up.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, it might be something where maybe Nothing's goal is to cause some kind of a distraction, delay a rotation, maybe pull someone just a little bit off of the B bomb site. Seized is actually, he's spotting down into this, so he'll be, I mean, there's no utility, so once this hit comes in, there's nothing to slow it down. He's just looking through that crack, waiting to spot a body, but Cloud9's just going to avoid it altogether. So yeah, I mean, this could be Skadoodle maybe smoking off window. Oh, Seized is actually pushing up now, so Cloud9's been a little tricky here, yeah.
Yeah, this is quite nice though. So Nothing's just put his smoke in as well. I think that's probably CT, I can imagine. Maybe jungle, I'm not too sure. Yeah, so he's gone for the close smoke there, and it's kind of just allowed them free reign. Guardian is not going to miss that. You put it on a plate for him, of course he's going to take it, but Stewie's at least found a bit of a reply. But by this point, the rest of his teammates are just left in ruins. This is a little overthought, a little undercooked, and there you have it. Na'Vi picked it up very cleanly.
Yeah, too clean. Yeah, the two smokes purchased by Cloud9, and it didn't seem like either of them had any kind of impact in terms of neutralizing any of the defensive positions from Na'Vi. So just annihilated, really. Guardian with 3 quick kills. I think that's kind of a cool thread as well in this matchup between these two, is like the lost oppers. Summer of 2015, Guardian and Skadoodle were like hands down 1 and 2 in terms of opper, and like really contested top position. I mean, those two guys were just kind of dominating with the AWP, and now into 2017, they both seem to have lost a bit of a step. So it will be interesting to look at those two guys and see how their performance matches up with each other, who's going to be able to win out in some of those duels that we usually see in Mirage. So Shroud trying to get a little bit lucky, looking for that jump spot from anyone, but Seized is not going to oblige. So investment for Cloud9, but again, they only have 1 smoke on Stewie, so these Deagles are going to have to do the work. I mean, Nothing and Shroud, they need to find kills with these Deagles.
Yeah, I think there's a boost possibly on short. I think Seized has been put onto the higher box possibly. So that could be a bigger problem, yeah, because they get even a better view towards anyone trying to split up through connector. So players like Stewie could be in trouble if he tries to play into it. But Guardian didn't swing out far enough to see Stewie then. So actually this could play out a little bit better than expected possibly. But timing is going to be really integral to this, and that's what I mean. So Stewie able to come underneath the kind of viewpoint the Guardian had, and Steve still gets a great bit of play here, able to fall back now, but Edward's under a bit of pressure. So again, starting to pressure a little bit here. Skadoodle's up as well, and now Seized controls it well. Doesn't get kind of threatened by this, but shrouds the threat. There's the second. Edward goes down, and now we're in a 2v2. Bomb's in a predicament, but oh my god, if he got one more hit, that would have been perfect. But no, C's left alive on 5 HP, and now Nothing over towards A has a long way to run just to get the bomb, let alone the other 2 players.
Monster around from C's. He's got 4 kills, and in that position on Catwalk, he was getting pinched from 2 sides for a moment there. So really nice job controlling the situation from him, and now just at a really tough angle to hit for Nothing. Kind of a headshot spot behind the bench. But the bomb is picked up, and yeah, Nothing can bail out. He's got no nades, but yeah, he's definitely going to get a plant out of this. And I mean, this is going to be a little bit dicey for Na'Vi. They're not even starting to move. I'm not sure if they realize that the bomb has been picked up, but Nothing has a chance now in this round. He's given himself the opportunity to win a 1-on-2.
Where are you going right now, Nothing? Let's see. He's planted pretty nicely actually for this sort of spot. It's not the perfect plant, but he can certainly work with it. And if you're maybe Na'Vi, you're going to be left guessing, and are you going around the world? Nothing. Do it. That's it, because it's the CT plant wasn't exactly for where he was, so if he goes through towards jungle, he's actually in a really nice spot for the defuse, and only Seized has a kit, so he's on 5 HP. This could be a pickup for him, and here we go. I don't know if he's going to expect the player to have the kit, though. Oh my god, he doesn't get the shot he needed! No. A second difference, that could have been perfect. A great attempt, though, from Cloud9, and a costly round for Na'Vi, but C's certainly had his moment.
Yeah, that's a big damage to Na'Vi. I mean, obviously, economic, they get all 5 kills. M4 goes over to Nothing, goes over to Cloud9. That's huge, and this is a situation where you may, if you're Cloud9, with that plant, even just think about buying in that round. They choose not to. But yeah, if there's maybe another half second, Nothing obviously hits that second shot. The positioning of that defuse from Seized, I think, really threw him off. If Seized is maybe a little bit swung out wider as he's defusing that, it's probably a 1 clutch for Nothing, but the audacity to go all the way around through CT spawn and wrap through jungle.
And Shroud is on the run. Edward's actually going to walk into that, but they went on a massive buy. So they're fine at the moment. Edward and Guardian doing the work is really nice for them. And I think maybe Simple just spotted players out. I'm not 100% sure. He was doing the jump just to look in towards that underpass area, but at the moment, only one smoke left on Skadoodle. He's the one with the bomb at the top of mid, so he can smoke out window, connector, short. So many options, but Stewie with a quick boost towards window could cause some issues here. No one's actually seen this, and now Skadoodle's actually found Edward. This becomes problematic, and speaking of that, Automatic is now working in through connector, but Stewie finds his moment to pounce, and they're making this costly again. Kept in check eventually from Flamey and Simple, but 2 good kills, a couple of opportunities. That could have been a lot worse for Na'Vi, but they do manage to keep all of those, well, at least 3 rifles up so they can spread the wealth.
I mean, early game, Na'Vi's up 3-0, but that's a big win for Cloud9, the economic damage they've done, because what this prevents from coming out in this 4th round is an AWP on Guardian. He's not going to be able to have that. So at least for this first gun round, they don't have to worry about it, and if they can win this, the economy's obviously just shattered right off the bat. So Cloud put himself in position to really get a quick start in this half. And I think that's the big thing is if you look back towards the match we just saw with Cloud9 against North, they can't get that slow start again.
No, and because they built back in so close, you've got to hope they give themselves more room to play with. Nice flash out that catches Edward and Simple. Guardian then with the follow-up, that's really nice work, but then Edward's out of the flash when he comes back in to just check on what's going on. Theory crafting nice from Cloud9, but sadly the execution in the end just doesn't quite work out, but Automatic could find room. I don't know how much time is left on that smoking window. This could be the issue. One of the 2 players is going to have a bit of an opportunity. And it looks like it could be Edward, but again, timing, who looked where, when. Automatic knows he's there now, and this is dangerous. If he goes up too far, if he thinks Edward may be still present, that's his life gone. But they've snuck their way into connector again. They constantly find these angles. Yeah, but they need to find a kill here. They're encroaching upon to this A bomb site. Haven't found anything just yet. Choke points are all smoked off. There's Skadoodle on a Simple. He opens things up. Automatic still in connector. Now all he has to do is watch the flank. Guardian with 1 kill. Bomb still not planted. Plenty of time, but Shroud, he cannot land the spray. Automatic's got to pounce at some point. His teammates are in trouble. Some play has to be made, and there's 1 kill for Automatic. Shroud now doesn't miss that shot, but good trades come out. It's a 2-on-2. Shroud, the bomb is being planted at the moment. Shroud is stuck in this awkward spot, but nothing finds Edward, and now Shroud in a 1-on-1 with Seized. Seized, no kid. He does have a molly, though. He can push the corners out, and you can see he's looking for an opportunity or an angle to find it work. But no, Shroud's just holding it, just standing out in the open, and, well, not so open, but still open enough for Seized to find it and do the work. He's going to pick up the kit. Plenty of time looking around, having a little bit of a go of it. But back and forth moments again, close rounds again, but Seized has come in well, and Na'Vi trading all these kills. You know, Edward playing through jungle then was really nicely timed as well, catching people out, finding that uncomfortable sore spot to just really press on, and Na'Vi get themselves to 4 rounds now. Yeah, and Guardian's got the AWP also this round, so that's huge. I think they dropped that. No, he just buys it himself. But still, Cloud9, I mean, they have to buy in this situation. They obviously had the money for it, but you know, being down 4-0, but with all the damage you've done, you know you have them on a breaking point right at this. So you can't let your foot off the gas here. You have to try and make it work, or I mean, you keep buying until Na'Vi essentially has just a very clean win. Edward, again, this was the peak that got him that 1 kill last round to start him out on the right foot, is that delayed mid-peak with the crack in the smoke. Doesn't find anything this time, and 4 players for Cloud9 in these B halls. So you imagine this is eventually going to be a hit over towards that B bomb site. 1 player in mid, that's Stewie. When does he choose to pounce? Let's bear in mind it's Seized who wants to stop them as well. Timing on the molly is going to be big. He's going to put it down, back away, and now let's see how he gets on. Actually completely overwhelmed. This is a good hit from Cloud9, finding their way in, getting the kills they need to. Edward got 1 back, but that doesn't matter. Simple, though. Look at the confidence on this guy. Just walk straight in. Him and Flamey doing the work. And now it's down to 2. Shroud and Stewie finding the angles and taking aggressive fights. Guardian, though, hits a great shot towards Shroud. And now it's 1v1, and he's got a good feeling about that. And he lands a shot. Of course he does. No hesitation. 1 HP. But 1 HP a second later, and it was game over for Guardian. Oh, so nicely done from Guardian. Yeah, huge by Simple to have that kind of confidence to just swing out. And they get a little bit caught off guard. 1 player Van, 1 player on Catwalk. I mean, 2 vastly different angles for Na'Vi to have to check, and their attention is just kind of pulled back and forth. But Guardian with those kills, I mean, not only surviving with 1 HP, but the shot previously is through the corner of the box. So, I mean, in the battle of the 2 oppers, Skadoodle and Guardian, advantage goes to Guardian early on. 7-3 for him to start this out. A great pistol round as well. Seized also at 8 kills, but again, it comes down to just 1 player surviving. Slowly but surely, Na'Vi keeps being able to have a little bit stronger of buys, but Cloud9, yeah, this is still the same idea. They just can't let go quite yet. A little bit more pressure towards mid as a collective this time from Cloud9. Kind of that 1-3-1. Nothing over by B, playing against Seized just on the other side of this, and Oh god, timing. There we go. Nothing's gonna find it. Just sees the feet walking through the verge of that smoke, which now means that Simple and Edward have to respond in kind. Let's bear in mind, Cloud9, when they've hit B previously, they've had numbers to it. This time, not the case.
Yeah, I'm actually a little intrigued by that decision from C's to push through that smoke, and I don't think he has the angle on Simple, and actually if he peeks back out into this, that's gonna be a spam. Stewie gets one more kill, so now the pressure's on. Now Na'Vi have to do something to try and come back into this, but they're just all falling. Simple in the bomb site, he better be a hero, but he's not. Nice job by Nothing. The bomb is left far, far back in B, and there's over a minute. So Flamey, not really a whole lot you can do in this 1-on-4 situation. It looked like Cloud9 has finally done it. I mean, they've had him on the verge this whole time, so the economy is broken at 5 rounds. Navi's gonna have to save.
It was. These rounds were ridiculously close. That's the thing. It was always on that tipping point. So at this moment in time...
I mean, the past 2 rounds have all come down to one player surviving for Na'Vi, and there's been 3 plants in these first 5 rounds for Cloud9. So they've done a very good job, and they're rewarded here with an early break of the Na'Vi economy.
And you need it. You want to get Guardian off that AWP as fast as possible. You want to keep these guys humble. And I think there's a little bit of a reminder, you know, C's pushing up straight through that smoke was a little bit questionable as well, just kind of giving an opportunity over, giving them that chance, that walk-in. But 5-1 is the scoreline. Let's see if Cloud9 can now build off it as well. It's about consistency in this matchup, not just that one burst. Sure, they were getting close, but you've got to be able to close down in this. And Simple going straight in for the aggression. You've got Edward kind of helping him out here, but up close with the Deagle. Automatic and Skadoodle respecting this too.
Yeah, he's got the kit as well pushed up towards mid, so that's a little bit curious. Simple investing in that and then going hyper-aggressive.
Just sitting anti-flash in the smoke, that's... Oh god, if he works this out. If he pulls this off, it's just going to blow my mind. He's not going to get it done. There it is. Thankfully, they just swing out at the right time, play it together, don't let it slip.
Yeah, and Flamey even trying to come help out, but unfortunately nothing going for either of them. So nice job by Cloud9. That smoke fades, Simple's exposed, a couple quick kills for them. So 5-on-3 scenario. Automatics brought down a little bit low. There's not a whole lot of danger for them to lose this round quite yet. C's going to try, or that's Edward actually, and I thought the X-ray was on the other side of the wall. So he's just kind of waiting, and Cloud9 is just very, very happy to control the portions of the map that they have and just wait for that kind of aggressive play in the mid-round, and there it is. I mean, one more kill to Skadoodle. And now it's Guardian's turn to looks like he wants to peek and get aggressive, try and find some info, but that's spotted out. So Cloud9 just not even giving themselves a chance to really lose this round, being very, very patient, and Edward can't land the one bullet needed onto Automatic, who ends with a triple kill. Second round for Cloud9, and that was Deagle armor investment for a lot of those Na'Vi players, so another save round going to come out.
Yeah, this should be a 5-3. This should go that way. I looking at how Cloud9 are playing.
Why are you jinxing it like that?
I'm sorry. But looking at the way Cloud9 are playing, I actually like their approach. I'm liking the mid-control. I like the way they're going to play out these rounds, being quite careful, being quite cautious, but then also having a nice little bit of firepower with Automatic. This guy's been playing well. I'm a big advocate for this guy coming into this. I'm looking forward to seeing if he can go further with this one. Have a really good game here. Everyone kind of talking about Simple needing that big game. This should be the game where he can do it. Maybe a little bit of Automatic on that as well, but Shroud not actually coming out the victor of that one.
Yeah, that was coming out as the big loss. Trying to spam through that wall like that, so takes a lot of damage for his trouble, but still, I mean, they should still be able to recover from even just that. No kills going out. Big thing is, I mean, you just mentioned you like Cloud9's mid control. They don't have it this round. Guardian was pushed up. Simple was there as well with the Zeus, actually, and now he's rotated over towards Van. So if Cloud9 does eventually go to B, a chance for a cheeky kill there and see what more they can get. And Na'Vi is all rotating over towards the B bomb site. This is the gamble stack in the mid round. And it looks like, unfortunately, Cloud9, it seemed like they could be geared up to go that direction, but they've kind of readjusted on the map.
Yeah, we've been seeing the splits through Connector coming in. The smoke towards the CT side of Connector might indicate presence towards Cat, but I might just allow Automatic more play.
Stewie's already cleared out. He's left Palace. He's on top of the balcony right now, so he's looking at the A-bomb site and seeing nothing. So
why is Skadoodle going Connector then? Oh, okay, no, excuse me. I was about to say, why is he not going Connector?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, sorry, it's late. It's those chicken nuggets.
They've destroyed me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, that's Stewie grabbing the information, passing it along to his teammates, and that's Cloud9 averting danger. So nicely done from them. The worst thing that can happen is Automatic. He's on catwalk. He's coming out of the ladder room right now, so if he gets caught off guard, this could be an AK over towards Na'Vi, but at the same time, with this kind of a range, I'm not entirely sure why he's being so aggressive all by himself to chase these down. Don't worry about letting him keep pistols. Either way, I mean, yeah, he can't really lose the AK in this position, I guess, so no huge deal.
Yeah, I guess there's that. So, at the moment, it's just free farm for Cloud9. Good work for them. Keeping the rounds clean. not giving up too much. You can see automatic, maybe just kind of putting the leash on himself. They're like, maybe I don't need to be going for this. Like, I'm all right. We're fine with the round on the board. 5-3, a nice scoreline. 5 players alive is even more important with the plant as well.
Looking to pad those stats, but let's not risk it. Let's not go too far. So, 3 players from Na'Vi surviving. They don't really bring anything worthwhile into the next round, except for the Zeus. Obviously, that's always worthwhile if you're able to get one of those kills.
It's true, and it makes Anders really happy.
Psychological warfare. It equally tilts similar. So,
it's
interesting how that dynamic
yin and
works.
yang, you know, like they just build off each other. But the one thing I want to look at as well is when does Simple start really kicking in? Because he's been a little quiet so far, at least into this game yet. We haven't seen him, being the big impact player, but I want to see a little bit more from him. I want to see him take that kind of headline role that he's supposed to, find that form, and certainly capable of it. Put himself into quite an...
Did they miss a smoke?
I
thought I
think
missed that smoke. Yeah.
How do you miss the top?
They're going to go anyways,
smoke?
and that's what happens. That's the margin for error. You miss that smoke, and you just get crushed for it. So.
But how do you miss that smoke?
Not sure. But I mean, that's the thing. I think Cloud9 saw that it was missed, and they went for it anyways. They even put up a window smoke, which they didn't wait for. So,
yes. Automatic maybe chomping at the bit a little too hard. Maybe just needs to calm it down. You're in a good spot right now. You don't need to allow them more chances, but there's actually 3 players towards A. Flamey was playing kind of down by Dark. You had Simple as well towards Sandwich, and this is what you want to see. Simple takes the fight, he doesn't win it. It's a phrase you don't often say, but the split through connector is being denied by Edward as the pinch towards A really kicks in. We're down to 2 for Cloud9 and 2 for Na'Vi, but the cross is being watched like a hawk. Nothing not going to let that one slip, and Seas has to run the same gauntlet.
Yeah, phenomenal play from Nothing, because his teammate Shroud has 0 HP, or not 0, but he's got very, very low HP. 1 bullet's going to do it. Seas is going to turn this corner, and he should... Oh, Shroud. Nice positioning. He sees Seas before he spotted himself. So, big win. 4th round for Cloud9. This is starting to look like a very dangerous TF, as Na'Vi is going to be back onto just pistols. They can upgrade a little bit, but... This is tough now. 4 straight for Cloud9, and this is also a map we've seen Na'Vi. I mean, we've called them on the desk. I know we've talked a little bit about how at times they seem dysfunctional. This is a map where I think a lot of their communication issues and a lot of their CT side rotations, the deficiencies in those aspects of their game are really highlighted on this map. We've seen them at times when they get beat up on this map, they seem to kind of just get more passive and give up too much. Automatic's got to use the fire to get away, but they're just going to chase him down. He's not expecting that. Actually, Edward didn't even take any damage from the Molotov.
No, just ran straight through. I think it was just further ahead than how they would put it down. Simple, not going to be able to stop them jumping out the window, but going to try and find a way to be relevant to this. This is quite smart. This is quite cheeky. Just going to sit there. He does get checked on in the end. Nice from Shroud to actually keep that in mind. Guardian not going to get any more play with the Deagle. He gets put down, but now into the 3v3, and it's still quite dangerous. There's still threats on the board, considering they do have armor, they do have upgraded pistols, and the rifle on Edward. The tag comes in, that's seized, but the bomb doesn't get picked up initially, having to go back for that, but Stewie's doing the work. Flamey being taken down means this is looking far more likely now.
Yeah, they should be safe. Edward, he gets a headshot, and now it gets dicey. 1-on-2, and he's got armor. He can go for this as the bomb isn't planted. This would be a huge fight to win if he can do it towards Catwalk, but the footstep is heard. Skidoodle gets off the plant, so Edward can do nothing. Stewie with the 3K this time, supporting Skidoodle inside the bomb site. 10 kills for Shroud, 10 kills for Nothing. Those guys have definitely shown up.
Yeah, Nothing as well, having quite a nice performance on Cobble before. Obviously, it wasn't translated into a win, but he was finding important kills in nice rounds. He was playing quite a smart, cerebral game from himself. And now looking at the money on Cloud9, they're so robust in this, so they can really they can suffer for a little bit.
Interesting thing for Nothing, because his playstyle has been so exciting in the past. I remember having a conversation with him. He's one of the players who has suffered a little bit from the wrist issues.
Yeah.
And he actually mentioned to me at one point, I think it was at one of the Northern Arena events, I think it was the one in Toronto, where he said in some ways the wrist problems have actually helped him, because when he feels it flaring up, he realizes he can't go for the kind of high-skill, crazy plays that we've seen him go for in the past. So he has to be a little bit more cerebral in his gameplay, a little bit more mental, and make the correct decision. So that's just kind of a happy little coincidence in a bad situation.
Yeah, out of the, I don't think you'd choose to have obviously the issues there, but you know what? At least he finds a silver lining to it. If you're gonna have to live with it,
It's just so Nothing as well. He's the glass half full kind of guy.
He really is. He's a very, very cheerful fellow. Never seen the guy look too upset. Even in loss, he takes it incredibly gracefully. But at the moment, they're 5-5 with Na'Vi, so loss might not even be in this little back of their mind. So. Smokes in towards, I can imagine, one towards window, one possibly towards deep side connector if they wanted it. Not gone for it right now, but they've got mid-control again.
Na'Vi has a pretty big emphasis early on in these rounds of at least pressuring mid from the CT side. Oh, I don't think they spotted Simple. We think we saw it on the screen. It was such a small pixel. I don't think they did. Edward watching for this. That's an immediate dink on Stewie in midair, and he's going to go, oh, somehow he wins that. Why not?
If you're going to tilt, that's certainly one moment for it, but Guardian's still alive, so the threat is not removed from the board, and Flamey's got a nice little angle on the verge of that smoke. Going to be tough for Skadoodle to play out of that, but Shroud's already out, so he could check this one. They know Dark is still a problem, but Dark isn't a threat, it's Guardian! Large and in charge, just in CT, but there you go. Finally, the reply comes in. It's Shroud finding Flamey, and now the two players playing back into this for Na'Vi are playing a little uphill. Skadoodle's still in a goodish spot. He can kind of watch the play in from Seized, and Edward's going to find it hard if Shroud can just lock this down. Nice from Shroud. Really well played out, and now Seized knows his options are limited. His days are numbered if he plays into this one.
Shroud gets that kill while he's getting spammed from Seas, while he's getting dinked. So hard to keep your composure there. Skadoodle still trying to find the timing on this peak. That smoke, it's going to make things a little bit difficult, but Seas has a chance here. Oh, he gets it!
What?
He gets it. The Molotov misses. Oh, Skadoodle had the wrong information on where the plant was. So he actually overexposes himself to throw a Molotov in a position where the bomb isn't even there. That's dicey. I mean, Cloud9 had to fight for that bomb site, and that's why that plant sometimes just goes in those kind of situations. With stellar play from Guardian inside the bomb site. Triple kill for him overall in the round before he's finally dropped.
And I'd be a little frustrated if I was Skadoodle there. He's opting to go for the rifle over the AWP. Could have afforded it, but going to go stick on the AK. So maybe got a plan in mind. Maybe want to go for a quick B hit, possibly.
I was going to say, with all 5 players heading into these halls, it just indicates that it's going to be some kind of a very, very aggressive B play that you don't want the AWP for.
Absolutely. Let's see what they can pull out of here. Seized has been quite the nuisance. He's given a couple of rounds across, pushing up every now and then, you know, allowing opportunities to build. But for now, he's playing it calm. He's still fine. He's going to call out. He's going to need some help soon. He is completely blind. Edward's going to come back over towards short, but Seized this time doesn't get checked upon. He does get the chance to at least find one, and now he knows the bomb is there. Edward just on the very verge of that smoke, but has allowed Stewie to slip through his fingers, but clutches him back. And now 2 more remain for the T side.
Yeah, bomb's at least going to go down, but the big thing, this is looking like it could be a decisive victory for Na'Vi in this round. A lot of players could survive here. Cloud9, even if they lose this, they have to do the damage, but it's not going to happen. Skadoodle in a 1-on-4. There's 1 kill. Not a bad rifler as well, but this is a very tall task, and he almost gets that kill, and then you think maybe it could have been doable if you look at Flamey's HP. Maybe that's a free kill in some kind of a situation, but nicely done from Na'Vi. They retain the AWP. They keep 3 members alive. Finally, because their economy is like this entire half has just been always on the edge.
It's not been a comfortable game. Pause is just about to come in. I'm not sure if it's... yeah, it's a technical pause, actually, at this point. So hopefully, whatever the problems are, they do get resolved nice and quickly. But for Na'Vi, it's time to, I guess, individually as well, contemplate on what's been happening. This has been a close game. I can imagine maybe closer than some people would say. If you look at these 2 lineups head-to-head, you see the skill on Na'Vi, but you also see the issues that plague them as well.
It's just one of those things that kind of just feels up in the air, just because both of these teams, we've seen the spectrum, right? We've seen like the highs that look good, and we've seen the lows that look awful. So you don't really know what to expect until they actually get in the server. But I mean, I think Cloud9 at this point in the match with 3 rounds left in this half, I think they've got to be happy with 5 rounds so far, especially considering they lost the pistol. So they're going to be pleased. They would love to add a couple more onto it in another situation where Skadoodle have the NAWP. He does not have a gun at the moment.
What?
Skadoodle only has a pistol.
Okay.
So there's a mistake, unless maybe he's just playing a very supportive.
6K. Do you forget?
I think he realizes it now. Time's over, buddy.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. So
That's really rough.
Not a great round to have that happen, and then on top of that, to add insult to injury, automatics down. So I guess the idea for Skadoodle here, and there goes Stewie as well. So this round just feels a little
just save your guns,
disorganized. Yeah. Well, I mean. The Sadicus strategy?
yeah, it works really well, all right? Leave him alone. Don't be mean, all right? Matt's a
we
little
can't let him
special.
get away with that one. We can't
no,
let him get away with
that is
one.
true. But still, the problem being here, you've got a player at top mid who can probably play into this, but it's going to be tough with the Glock. But at least they found a little something, and there you go. He's picked up the AK that was at the top of mid, so at least he's going to get that to hand, so he actually has something to play with now. And you're in a 3v4. There is some chance of redemption here, a little bit of a chance to play, but 45 seconds, you don't have much step to a site. You've got mid control, but nothing much else.
The big problem for Cloud9 at the moment is their 2 playmakers. The 2 guys who usually initiate everything didn't have success this round. They're gone. So now you need nothing. Obviously gets 1 kill, but you need more people to step up and actually be able to create an opportunity to get back into this in a 3-on-4. Shroud seems to have an idea that Flamey's here, but they do have a Molotov on Skadoodle. But yeah, this is just Nothing trying to make something happen in the B halls. It doesn't, and now Guardian, he's got free reign to continually peek this. Flashbangs are out, and he's distracting for Simple. That's too easy for Simple, and the nose or the quick scope from Guardian. Beautiful. So off the back of a little bit of a mental mistake from the Cloud9 guys, Navi get their 8th.
At least Skadu's got a lot of money now, you know? Like the mat strategy.
Yeah.
It's very smart. No, he can probably drop a couple of people out if he fancies it, or maybe just please remember to buy it. That would do. That's enough for me. I don't really want anything else.
Well, that's kind of crazy. I wonder if they wanted him to buy an AWP or an AK-47, like which one they were going to go with. Either way.
No, you're right. We'll see if they go back to the same plan. It looks somewhat similar. You still got Stewie kind of in the same spot he was in the previous round as well. The 4 players pinching towards mid. Good flash there, catches Edward and Guardian, but they're going to come out perfectly fine, and there's no smoke towards window either just yet, so Automatic's probably going to put that one down, and here we go. So the smoke comes in, nothing, going to find Simple, but Edward is there. He's always there. He's always present on short.
Yeah, he's been a menace on this catwalk. Just a couple kills. It's not like a consistent impact. It's just a couple kills here and there, and then that's where Guardian gets very, very dangerous when he's feeling confident, when he's feeling it, and he gets aggressive, and he goes hunting to be that dominating presence. And you can see it still. He still wants to push forward. Smoke's going to come out, and he gets steps right in front of it, finds one more, and there's Edward again pushing around the smoke. It seems like that timeout was Navi saying, let's not let them have mid-control anymore. Whether it's in the mid-round, whether it's early on, let's contest it. And Guardian definitely heading up that attack in this round. 9-5, and I think, no, we didn't. That was just players chatting to each other. Thought we might have had another timeout.
No. But what we do have is Guardian having a good performance. Something that feels a little sparse to say, which is strange because normally he is a player, you know, back in Navi's reign who was a huge performer, but he, you know, had the wrist injury or arm injury. I'm not sure how it was in the end. I don't think it was in the hand in the end of the day, but after that he never seemed to fully recover to that Guardian sort of status. But right now he's having a good game, and a good game is more than enough at this point. 9-5. Looking for that final round pickup, and there's one lovely bit of impact play. He doesn't even need to focus on towards the second flame. He's already there. But the problem is, at least nothing gets one in. But again, just nothing much more to be seen in this round as Skadoodle is so late to be able to make anything happen and just surround on all fronts. Pick your poison. It's simple to be the final man to take down Cloud9 in the end. 10-5 on the half. A very close game, though, if you looked at the rounds individually.
Yeah, I mean, great economic pressure from Cloud9 early on. Unfortunately, they couldn't really build on that. 5 rounds they were happy with at a certain point, but I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed that after the timeout, Navi just figured out every which way to abuse them. Mid-control went in the favor of Navi. Edward had pretty good impact, as Jordan gives us a nod, but it was Guardian who really established his dominance throughout this half for Natus Vincere.
10-5 half. Na'Vi in the lead, but those rounds were close. Cloud9 did not go down without a fight, and they have their chance to get back into this. Now on the CT side, they have to be ready for what Na'Vi about to bring, and call it the Superman, call it whatever you want. Edward is ready for this, and look at Shroud, though. Does not care, finds Seized, and better be careful for more.
Oh god, he's going to continue this. Edward up on top, that ends it pretty quick.
But it's still a 3-play stack towards B.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing. I guess that push could be something where it's like maybe you bait that push in if you get that kill. If you're Na'Vi and you find that, maybe you rush for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't pan out that way. Still looks like with the positioning, it would be a split towards B. Flamey and Guardian coming up catwalk, one smoke to cover them. Here's Automatic. He's gonna swing out, and actually he's got to be careful. Edward is raid boss here. He's got Tech 9, he's got armor, and he's gonna win that fight. So it's simple. So all of a sudden, the tactic from Cloud9, it doesn't pan out, and they are backs against the wall in this round.
Again, the fact being Cloud9 were in the right place in a way. They kind of fed in Shroud. He got a kill there, but it doesn't matter. The raid boss is doing what he does. Edward, with that Tech 9, is a bit of a monster. Let's be real here. Nothing, though, doing a nice bit of damage towards Edward. He needs a little bit more, though. And timing's of the essence. And look at Simple's position. That kind of like slow Vice-like rotate where it's just like, well, how many options do you need me to deal with here? I can't handle that many. 3 was a little too far, and Na'Vi do pick up the first in the second half.
Edward boosted up as well as like the safety net. But yeah. I mean, beautiful job from him on the pistol. If you're dropped a Tech 9 to have armor as well, you better make it work. You're
it's
the
power a little bit of pressure,
that,
isn't it, though? It's like, what if I just get randomly dinked? It's just like, but he steps up. He steps up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he does.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I couldn't put it together quick enough.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that's me failing under pressure.
It's all right. You're doing better than I am.
Skadoodle and Shroud with those. Shroud's gonna be jumping with it over towards the B bomb site, just kind of peering into the upper hall. Skadoodle at the A site. So they've got those split to try and do some damage and maybe soften them up for the the Deagle, the CZ, the P250, the whole gamut of pistols. And Na'Vi have free mid control essentially at the moment. So being very, very patient, just sitting back. There's no real presence towards A for Na'Vi. That's the one thing that in this round, if there was some kind of aggression from Cloud9, that's the one thing that could kind of be beating him up right now. But just going to enjoy the set smokes, work their way up catwalk. Automatic with the Deagle. We've seen him in this position have success. Misses and misses a shot, but he can't fall back. There's one. Misses the second, and he does not get the third. That's so much damage. Yeah, it's great.
If you're going to walk away with something other than the kill, at least do that. Simple on 17 HP means it's possible, and there it is. The scout comes in, Simple goes out. Now down to 3v2, but there's no kits. So time is really, really going to be a factor here, but C's getting aggressive, as is Flamey, quite up close and personal. Maybe trying to negate what you can see from those scouts, and maybe then be careful now that the CZ's up. But Flamey, what a rock for Na'Vi, not letting that slip at all. Stewie now with armor, a CZ, no kit, just maybe wants to get in there, see what he can do, maybe find a little bit of something, good damage. But again, it just feels like Cloud9 are getting very, very close, but never quite enough. Even like, oh, we'll get a load of damage, but we're still not getting the rounds.
Yeah, you're getting right up to that point, and you just can't get it over the top. So that's unfortunate for Cloud9. But still, I mean, some opportunity in that round, which I guess is a positive. But Navi's really starting to run away with this. I mean, this is you saw the tactical adjustment out of Na'Vi on their CT side when they kind of figured things out, when they kind of reasserted dominance in the middle portion of the map once they started having money back up for Guardian's AWP. That was just an important tool for Cloud9 to keep out of his hands in the first half as long as possible. Now, though, Na'Vi, Cloud9 need to get some kills here. They need to do the same thing. They need to prevent that AWP from coming out because Guardian's having a stellar game with it. And nothing is pushing up. Spots Guardian, goes for the kill, but that's when Edward peeks out. So nice teamwork there from Na'Vi.
Yeah, just nicely working off each other. It's a combination that's certainly going to be around for some time, it feels. Simple. Gonna check it. Let's see. Stewie, hoping someone does this. It's going to play him in now, and Simple's ready.
That's so smart. Just take that fight, and as soon as you have some kind of a presence, you wait for someone to pounce in that situation, especially with the dink. I think if there's not a dink, Jordan nothing probably stays in that position. Just because the dink comes out, he gets a little bit hungry for that kill. There's another dink and a kill for Automatic. So 2 on 4 now. Is there any more damage that can be done? No. His position is known, and Shroud is the last one up. So 13-5 for Na'Vi it's going to be. And Cloud9, they just need to go on a massive run. I mean, we talked about this not being able to start slow, and actually they kind of really didn't. I mean, it was 5-0 and then 5-5, and then but it was just too many in a row for Na'Vi after that.
All right. We saw the thing is that because we saw the game on Cobble, I don't want to put Cloud9 completely to the back of my mind where they can't actually build back into this. Now they've actually got the money, a little bit of a chance, Obviously, Skadoodle doesn't have the perfect buy. They have no kits either, so it's still not great, but it's enough that they can put up a fight. Guardian sticking on the Mac 10. I guess no head armor. It means he can do a little bit more, I guess, but still.
I think they're just going to have him lead the way with like a heavy aggressive B hit and just be like,
Perfectly
you can
fine.
be psychopathically mobile with this Mac 10. Just
I actually don't mind it at all. Like, if you're probably going to lose someone going into that site anyway, you might as well try and get someone to be incredibly mobile, just be a real nuisance, get in their face, and here we go. This is the pinch. Now, Shroud expected to find Guardian, but it's the follow-up, and the follow-up hits hard. Na'Vi have control of B, but Stewie, there's smoke. He wants to go for a walk, and Flamey knows it. He's just shooting into the smoke. Of course, he did see the feet.
Shadow, yeah. Or feet, shadow, whatever it might have been, so... Oh, that hurts for Cloud9. Just a very, very simple idea from Na'Vi executed to perfection. Even if Guardian doesn't get any kills, at least he's a distraction. That's when guys like Flamey, Edward have some space to find whichever fight they want. And Cloud9 just didn't have the utility to really slow that down, and they weren't expecting it whatsoever either. So now it's just looking like, yeah, we saw him come back into it on Cobble on the T side as well. We have to keep that in mind, but also this just seems like it's a little bit too far away. This Na'Vi machine is really, really grinding him out.
Yeah, I don't feel as though we've even seen Na'Vi being pushed that hard yet. I know that sounds quite strange. We did have a couple of close rounds, but once they've kind of pulled this through, I don't see them kind of dropping it now. Nothing looking for any chances he can, any small, slim modicum of a possibility, but the person who found it first was Shroud. That's Edward gone, and Edward's been quite impactful so far into this game, but Guardian now looking to make up for it, to avenge his fallen teammate. He's going to find a tag towards Automatic, which is a problem. Automatic's one of the players with the armor, with the gun, but there's nothing. There we go, finds his moment to pounce. Now, 5v3, T-side looking to maybe hit that A-side, but they're all still in spawn.
Yeah, I mean, Na'Vi's left that a little bit behind, but it's not a huge issue if they're just going to find all these kills. The big thing, Stewie's now the next one up, who's in a I mean... This is going to be Na'Vi needs to check this, but do they have the manpower to do it? Flamey gets one, and Stewie misses everything.
Nah,
that's such a North American way to lose a cool opportunity.
Especially after you saw, like, yesterday when Flusher had that, like, perfect CZ control on, like, two players, fully brought up, like, basically facing him anyway, and you're just like, nice, Stewie.
I got this.
Nice. Oh, man, that's so rough, though. You've got to feel for them. This game feels like it's always been on the verge of almost happening for them. And then you look at the scoreline, it's like, it never happened. Na'Vi's always been in control. Yeah,
I mean, you could kind of tell. I mean, it's that mood from Guardian where we used to see it so frequently, and now we just see it, you know, in little glimpses here. There. Oh, Skadoodle, he messes that up, so now he's been spotted out, misses the shot, and he can't fall back. They're gonna have to use a lot of utility, and actually Stewie's even gonna commit to helping him out, it looks like, but the Cloud9 is all out of position, but Stewie gets one anyways. And Skadoodle's actually gotten out of this. No one from Na'Vi who is there to punish it, and he eventually does fall.
Yeah, there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, especially when Na'Vi mean business, but Automatic has a UMP. We know what that means. Of course you can still win rounds with a UMP. The sad thing is you've got a rifle now, so maybe it could go wrong, and it is. Already Simple's going to find Stewie, so back to the 3-on-2, but it's Simple and Seized. So where are they going to take this? You've already got Seized kind of slow working towards B. Simple still in mid. He can make some plays happen, but it's going to be tough to hit that B side. So many angles have possibilities of players, and Shroud is there.
Yeah, and the off as well as on Catwalk. That's a great find from Seized. That's a huge kill. So Shroud now gets exposed, and that puts Automatic in a really awkward situation. I mean, you have to move if you're him, because players can come from anywhere on this map. So he's very, very uncomfortable with no knowledge of where Simple is exactly. So plenty of time on the clock as well, 45 seconds. This defense is split. Seized and Simple are going to meet up together. They're going to have a 2-on-1 here in Connector.
It's all or nothing to stop this. Automatic can be relevant later, but right now, Nothing needs to make a play. He needs to stop this before it starts, and there's his chance, and he gets it. Good work from Nothing. Now can fall back. Leave Seized in that really awkward predicament of playing into this 1v2, guessing and second-guessing yourself, but how is he able to get this far? Okay, Nothing's going back around. I was so worried that he was just going to leave that to itself, and now Seized can get a plant here. Is he going to plant for sure? He is, okay.
It's a ballsy plant spot.
Yeah, but Nothing. Oh my god, leaps past. Right. Positions noted, Seized, readjust, and now Automatic up against Nothing. No grenades left on the C9 side, so I guess this spot is a little bit safer than normal, but this is a pressure moment.
Yeah, this is huge. Seized there at a little bit of an off angle. If they come upstairs, he'll have the jump and at least one kill. Flashbang is going to help him move forward. No one going up those stairs whatsoever. Smoke is down. Bomb is tapped. Seized doesn't know this. He's got to check for it, and he does. There's no punish. Oh, and actually, he thinks the defuse is on. He thinks someone was sticking it inside the smoke. He had to assume that. And Automatic finds the kill just out of his vision. So Cloud9 are going to stay alive with a 6th round.
Still pretty close. There we go. Cloud9 find that little bit of a I guess a line of small hope at this point, but their money is still so low. The problem in winning into this now is like, well, you've got what, 3.9, 3.6. They can get buys, they can get UMPs, sure, but you want something to really kind of fight back with. Na'Vi have everything they need.
Yeah, and the big thing as well is one of the other win conditions for Na'Vi at this point with Cloud9 having to win 10 straight to force overtime is Na'Vi can just grind this economy down. If they're having rounds like that are coming down to one-on-ones, even just 2, and Skadoodle needs to hit their shots. If they want a chance at coming back, he's got to hit those shots and those flashbangs. Just
one of those starts, isn't it, Skadoodle? Just, whoa, go and get the molly. There it is. All right. Oh, I was a little bit worried that he was going to have a complete mare of it, but he's fine for now.
Yep.
He's had a tough game, to be fair. It's one of those, it just feels like just nothing works for you, so hopefully mentally he's not too kind of scarred by it all, but Stewie just sneaking off the side there, and we've got the 3 players towards mid from Na'Vi, and then 1 on each side. I actually quite like Automatic looking up for information over by B, but it looks like this pinch towards mid is coming in quite thick and fast.
Yeah, nice nade on a Skadoodle. Cloud9 trying to make some kind of an information play, pushing up into the B halls to check it out, and then falling back off of it. So Automatic and Shroud, they clear out B halls. They see no pressure close up. So Automatic and Shroud, they're going to do mid-round peek off catwalk. Or are they? Seems like they're inching closer and closer, waiting for a correct moment to pounce, but it's not coming just yet, as Cloud9 has also just cleared out a ramp. So they have no idea. They're probably so confused as to how they haven't seen anyone anywhere on the map where they've gotten aggressive.
This is such a really strange round, already kind of going around each other a couple of times, but Flamey finding nothing might indicate that, okay, do we still need to go B? Should we maybe try to, look towards A? Because there's still 2 players very dedicated towards B from Cloud9, so Automatic and Shroud could be in for a bit of a test soon, as Flamey's still trying to keep attention there, but the bomb is grinding its way through, and look at the HP as well. It's pretty low, and here we are. Finally, the bomb comes out, Seas just pinches towards mid, and even though they had players there, they still get beaten and broken through, and Guardian just kicks Skadoodle right in the face with the orb, just makes it even worse. And Stewie, what you got for us, buddy? Absolutely nothing. Guardian confirms Na'Vi's placement in this one. Cloud9, close but no cigar is the only way to put it. A good couple of rounds went back and forth. Certainly a game that you feel they could have got more on the board, but at the end of the day, 6 rounds was it.
Yeah, you would have liked to have put some more rounds in that first half, certainly. But still, I mean, you have to talk about the dominance of Guardian in this game in that first half. He really set the tone with his AWP. No one on Cloud9 had any kind of a game to really challenge that, to really equalize that.
Exactly that. But guys at home, just so you know, we're going to go to a quick break now. But after the break, we're going to jump into the Virtus Pro game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and try and close out and catch up on that one. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back in a sec.